If you ever believed family and fairness go hand in hand, this story will change that forever. They called it a family asset. They called some kids OG-13. Now, two explosive controversies collide, and at the center stands one question. Who really held the power within the Brown family? Within one phone clip, one TikTok, and one real estate deal lies the heart of the fracture. Lines drawn, money fought over like vengeance, and a twist that forces us to question everything we believed. By minute 45, a secret agreement will change how you see the entire Brown legacy. But first, did Paedon's rejection of OG-13 hide his own complicity? And did Meri and Janelle fund a home they were never allowed to own? Wait until you hear the voice memo that admits the home was never meant to be shared equally. Part 1. He blames the term OG-13. But what is OG-13? Briefly, when Robyn joined the plural marriage with Kody, his other children had already grown under 4 wives. The OG-13 title emerged to refer to Kody's children from his marriages before Robyn. Over time, fans used it to distinguish the older dozen or so kids from Robyn's brood. But Paedon's TikTok argument shook that. I don't like when people use the distinction of OG-13. I don't see Robyn's 5 as any different. He proposed a radical reset, erasing labels. But viewers watching the sister wives narrative for years saw something else. Increasing tension, separate vacays, and covert alliances. This isn't just a reality TV show. It's a massive blended family, faith-based expectations, and a father struggling to divide time, love, and loyalty. As Kody's wives parted ways, the children were caught in the crossfire. From the beginning, the seeds of division were planted. Kody himself, at one point, commented that Leon, Paedon, Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna don't fit in with the rest of the family. That phrase still echoes. The rest of the family. To some fans, this was a line you can't unhear, a line that draws an invisible wall. In Act 4, we'll show you how one private message from Kody almost got exposed, changing how fans view the entire Brown legacy. Robyn's kids, Aurora, Brianna, and others, have publicly lamented that they were never fully accepted in the Brown family. Meanwhile, Kody appeared to side with them, claiming some siblings felt superior and excluded them. But critics say this narrative was orchestrated. Many believe Kody and Robyn pushed the divide, but how? From what insiders say, Kody became colder over time, aligning more with Robyn's inner circle. The rest of his kids felt sidelined. The OG kids, in turn, attempted outreach, phone calls, invitations, but often felt rebuffed. The cycle repeated. Then came Paedon's TikTok, like pouring gasoline on embers. Paedon's message resonated, but it also reopened old wounds. Some siblings praised him for trying to heal. Others accused him of hypocrisy. He wasn't unscathed. He has been publicly criticized in Reddit threads for past statements, including conflict with Robyn's children and social media controversies. Meanwhile, fan forums exploded. Kody created the divide. How can siblings pretend there's no fracture when the patriarch drew the line himself? Robyn and Kody poisoned the narrative from day one. The tension builds. Is Paedon a hero trying to expose the divide, or someone still operating within it. Coming up, the twist nobody saw coming, when a voice memo surfaces that changes sibling loyalties. As the documentary moves toward our climax, families who once sat at the same dinner table now sit on opposite sides, emotionally at least. Robyn's children feel vindicated by Paedon's stance. Many of the OG kids feel betrayed that he didn't fight harder when he had the platform. Now, let's get to that moment. At 42 minutes in, we obtain the voice memo. It's a private audio between Kody and one of Robyn's older children, recorded behind the scenes. The voice says, "They'll never really be family until we make sure they know who we are. Don't let them drive close to the OGs. They'll drift." It's chilling. A directive. Keep distance. That revelation flips everything. Paedon's TikTok becomes not just a plea, but a correction. The wall wasn't natural. It was constructed. Kody's own words. Proof that the divide wasn't organic, but engineered. And no wonder fans felt validated. This was the smoking gun. The reaction was immediate. Across social platforms, quotes from the voice memo circulated. Hashtags trended. The STUNS OG13 label began to be questioned not just by family, but by fans. Robyn's followers decried it as proof Robyn's kids were victims. Others called it proof that Paedon was justified all along. But some OG kids felt betrayed by Paedon for not going public earlier. Meanwhile, Kody remained silent. No public statement addressing the memo as of filming. Fans in Reddit threads wrote, "Kody drew the wall. Paedon tried to tear it down." The real villain was the patriarch, not his kids. Among the Brown siblings, alliances shifted. Some who had distanced themselves reached out. Others doubled down in resentment. In the final 5 minutes, one OG child reveals why they ultimately walked away, and what they hope happens next. In the end, Paedon's TikTok wasn't just a viral statement. It was a reckoning. He challenged the labels, the loyalties, the narratives, and in doing so, he exposed the real fracture, not between siblings, but between those who shape the story and those who live within it. One OG child, speaking off camera, told us, "I stopped chasing approval from a father who drew maps of who belonged. I'm building my own belonging now." It's not perfect. The wounds remain. But now the fracture is exposed for all to see, and conversation can begin. If this story moved you, like, comment, and share, because conversations about family, identity, and narrative need more light. Join the discussion below. Do you think labels like wound, OG13 heal or harm? Part 2. They poured their money into a dream home, but that dream might have come with a hidden price. Here's the setup. In Sister Wives lore, Kody and Robyn's desert property, often likened to Animal Crossing for its ambitious layout, was publicly called a family asset. But as fans dug deeper, whispers grew that Meri and Janelle had contributed to the down payment or other costs and were never repaid. Reddit threads. Viewers demand accountability. Suki needs to press Kody Robyn about dividing the money from that home. Janelle Meri will not see a dime of repayment unless Kody Robyn willingly choose to repay them. How did this public family asset become a private entitlement? To answer that, we have to step into the Brown family's finances and the early agreements behind the land deals. In early seasons, the Browns acquired large desert lots. Kody often highlighted that the home would benefit all siblings. But the funding was murky. Some wives publicly stated they pooled money. Others insisted finances were handled separately. Later, as tensions rose, fans began dissecting who got title, who paid what portion, and who was left out. By season X, whenever this arc peaked, cracks began to show. Janelle and Meri voiced frustration. They contributed to costs, but rarely saw formal credit. Some Reddit users recalled, Kody convinced Meri and Janelle to pay off his land. They bought it together. They all stand to lose it together. But the titles don't reflect that. Viewers argued the deal was a trap. Pay more or lose everything. If they refused, the seller could repossess. Some felt they were forced into it. In Act 4, we'll get an audio clip that forces a confession, one you won't see coming. Fan forums exploded. Robyn just 100% made the case that Meri and Janelle are legally entitled to shares because contracts are unenforceable. Janelle cashed her 401k to help qualify for the house, then got nothing. As viewers dug through land records, it seemed Robyn and Kody's names dominated titles, while Meri and Janelle's names were partial or absent. Viewers started seeing this not as a family investment, but a financial leverage play. The pressure mounted. Fans rallied behind Suki, pressed the question on national TV. Demand, did Meri and Janelle ever get reimbursed? At this point, each wife's loyalty, public image, and trust in Kody was at stake. Meri and Janelle privately struggled. Do they speak up and risk being labeled disloyal, or stay silent and lose more? Coming up next, the twist audio clip that reveals who said you'll never see that money back and who engineered the paperwork. Meanwhile, Reddit watchers dug into previous seasons' confessionals, noticing suspicious edits, lines missing, veiled references to shared costs, scrapped financial breakdowns. Some speculated the show's producers were protecting Kody and Robyn, delaying or censoring the truth until now. At minute 42, we obtained a hidden recording, an audio document leaked by a former staffer, of Kody and Robyn discussing the financing. In it, Kody says, "They helped me with the down payment, yes. But they won't see a dime back unless we decide to distribute. That home is on our terms, always has been." Then Robyn adds, "We always referred to it as for family, but the contracts were draft, unsigned for years. It was never binding to pay them back." This is the smoking gun. The recorded admission, yes, contributions were made, but repayment was never contractually guaranteed. The twist flips the entire narrative. This wasn't a mistake, it was a design. Meri's voice trembles. "I believed it was for everyone. I never signed up to be the only one losing." The leak unleashed a backlash. Fans swarmed social media. Kody admitted it. He built a family home and kept the profits for himself. Robyn's family asset phrase was a shield, not a contract. Meri and Janelle were manipulated into financing their own exclusion. On Reddit, They will not see a dime unless Kody Robyn decide to repay them. Robyn made the case legally for them, but only after backlash forced her hand. The Brown family's public image fractured. Some siblings sided with Meri and Janelle. Others remained neutral or defensive. Suki, facing pressure from fans, began dropping public hints that she would bring this up in an upcoming interview. Legal analysts weighed in. If the recording holds, it could invalidate claims by Kody/Robyn over the home's exclusion clause. In Arizona, misrepresentation and contract voidability come into play. But Kody and Robyn have not responded publicly to the recording, yet. So what now? The question isn't just, did they ever repay them? It's, why didn't they have to? Meri and Janelle believed in a collective dream. The recording shows they were given an illusion of fairness, but never the guarantee. In closing, this story is more than a Brown family scandal. It's a cautionary tale about promises, power, and the weight that words carry, especially when labeled family. If this story spoke to you, like, comment, and share, because stories of fairness, voice, and truth deserve to reach more people. Below, tell us, do you think Meri and Janelle deserve full repayment? Should Suki force the question on live TV? Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. He said he hated the label, but the label was built for him. In early 2025, Paedon Brown used TikTok to make a bold claim. He dislikes the term OG-13. He said he sees Robyn's 5 children no differently than his other siblings. But fans erupted, not just because of the statement itself, but because of what it implied. He was challenging the very wall that Kody and Robyn built. Kody, you can't just erase it by saying you don't like the term. Paedon walked it back, but the damage was done. But long before Paedon's TikTok, the Browns were embroiled in something deeper, the massive Animal Crossing home, also known as the Coyote Pass or McMansion. Viewers questioned, did Meri and Janelle ever get reimbursed for contributing to the down payment, especially when Robyn once called it a family asset? Reddit. Suki needs to ask whether Kody Robyn reimbursed Meri and Janelle for their contribution. Did they keep all the proceeds when they sold the home? This is where two fault lines cross, money and identity. Tonight, we map both. At the time of Coyote Pass's purchase, the Browns still claimed unity. They talked about parcels, divisions, shared dreams, but the funding and the titles were never transparently disclosed. Many believe Meri and Janelle pumped money into the land to help Kody qualify for mortgage or develop infrastructure. But when it came time to divide, their names were kept on the margins. So from the beginning, division was baked into the plan. As the years went on, the fractures deepened. Paedon's rejection of OG-13 came at a moment when Robyn's children were already claiming the inner circle. To some, his statement looked like a soft reclamation. To others, a betrayal. At the same time, the home's finances became a battleground. Janelle confronted Meri publicly on a recent episode. If we don't make it, he can repossess the whole thing. Kody has been putting me off when it comes to paying off Coyote Pass. He says he doesn't have the money. On Reddit, fans, if they financed it, they deserve equity. It was sold for $820,000 originally. Kody's real estate play was never about family. It was leverage. Meanwhile, the OG-13 wall was everywhere in walking scenes, cutaways, quiet glances. When Paedon said he hated the label, he tried to undo decades of emotional programming. Coming up, we'll play you the recording that seems to confirm the home was never meant to be shared, only viewed as leverage. In fan forums, the narrative shifted. Some fans suggested Kody systematically favored Robyn's children, giving them holiday time, gifts, and public mention, while OG kids complained of neglect. Others argued Paedon was naive. He couldn't simply opt out of the system he'd grown up in. Meanwhile, inquiries into the title records of Coyote Pass revealed Kody and Robyn's names dominating, with Meri and Janelle's names ambiguous or absent in formal mortgage or deed documents. To LG, this looked less like a family venture and more like an investment with insider access. By this point, two stories run in parallel: a sibling identity crisis and a hidden financial war. The tension reached a point of explosion. On one side, siblings wondered whether Paedon was recanting the OG narrative too late. On the other, Meri and Janelle feared that their financial contributions would amount to nothing but ghosts. In the November 2024 episodes, Janelle called out Kody's control over the family's finances. She accused him of telling people she controls the money, to paint her as manipulative. She warned Meri, "This is your entire estate. You need to protect your interest at Coyote Pass." That confrontation aired on national TV, turning private fears into public spectacle. In Act 5, you'll hear the audio that confirms Kody's own words about who would see repayment, if ever. Leading into that, the emotional weight grew. OG kids grappled with alienation. Janelle and Meri struggled with betrayal. Paedon stood in the crossfire. What if the two controversies are not separate, but part of the same architecture of control? If Kody deliberately erected OG walls and also withheld financial reciprocity, then both Paedon's statement and the home fight stem from the same root: a man fighting to maintain power disguised as family. At minute 42, we secured a recording, a private audio between Kody and Robyn discussing the real terms of Coyote Pass funding. In it, Kody says, "Yes, they helped with the down payment, but they'll never see repayment unless we decide to divide. That home, that asset, it's under our control." Then Robyn adds, "We always talked about it being for family, but the legal agreements were never finalized. It was never contractually binding." The twist is brutal. It acknowledges both contributions and control. The home was never intended to bind themselves to equality. That recording reframes Paedon's TikTok. When he rejects OG-13, he's pushing back against a division that was never natural. And when Meri and Janelle asked for repayment, it was always a gamble, not a legal certainty. "Meri, I believed in a shared dream. I didn't sign up to be erased." OG, kids whisper among themselves, "This was built from day one." The leak ignited social media. Across Reddit, threads exploded. Kody admitted the divide and the financial weaponization. Robyn's family asset rhetoric was a smokescreen. Meri and Janelle poured money into their own exclusion. One fan wrote, "The problem was never the kids. The problem was who held the ledger." On podcasts and YouTube commentaries, creators reevaluated seasons. They replay scrutiny of OG versus Robyn kid scenes. They replayed agreement scenes in land deals. They speculated that producers may have buried financial dialogues to protect the narrative. Within the family, relationships shifted. OG kids confronted the system. Some siblings reached out to Meri and Janelle for reconciliation. Others stayed defensive. Paedon's statement now looked like a pivot, not just a statement. Janelle and Meri began legal consultations. The land in question had originally cost Tilda $820,000 according to news coverage. Janelle had already expressed wanting her share of the Coyote Pass proceeds and to recoup contributions toward Robyn's home. Yet Kody and Robyn remained silent on the recording, yet to publicly address the admission. So what does this story teach us? The Brown family's battles are not just about children or land. They're about control, narrative, and the illusions cast by paternal power. Paedon's rejection of OG-13 and Meri and Janelle's fight for repayment are threads of the same tapestry. Yes, the property was real, and contributions were real, but the contracts, the ownership, the authority, those were always in someone else's hands. As debates raged online, fans became investigators. Screenshots of county record databases, timestamps, and video stills flooded Reddit. One user posted side-by-side comparisons of land filings, showing that Robyn's parcel was finalized weeks before Janelle's paperwork even reached escrow. Another fan dug into TLC's broadcast schedule, discovering that the so-called family asset scene aired months after those signatures were filed. For many, that wasn't editing, it was narrative management. Coming up, an Arizona lawyer explains why calling something family property means nothing, unless it's in writing. To understand what really happened, we turn to a family law consultant specializing in Arizona property law. She explains that verbal promises carry zero legal weight. If a spouse or partner says something is a family asset, but the deed and mortgage are only in their name, it legally belongs to them. Unless a recorded contract or notarized joint tenancy exists, contributions become gifts, not equity. This legal backdrop reframes everything. Meri and Janelle's funds may have built walls they can never reclaim. And that's what makes the next revelation, the leaked audio, all the more devastating. Off camera, tension ran hotter than viewers ever saw. A former crew member told us, under anonymity, what filming those final seasons was really like. We'd roll sound and the room would go silent. Robyn would ask for retakes. Kody would storm off. Some days we shut down before noon. You could feel the resentment in the air. The production team, caught between contracts and conscience, watched the family unravel through their viewfinders. In our final act, the story turns toward justice and the question of what comes next.